Hey, my friends. Here is a little bonus clip from my awesome conversation with my friend Aaron Jacob Jones. We kept going on and on. The conversation ended, like the podcast ended, but we just kept going on and on in our conversation. And I thought that this was too good to keep from you guys. So enjoy this little mini episode. Welcome to The Composed Artist, the podcast where we explore the intersection of artistry, entrepreneurship, and self-improvement and continue to pursue a more composed life. I'm your host, Stephanie, an artist specializing in live wedding painting, living in the vibrant and soulful city of New Orleans. Over the past decade, my job has taken me all over the world, meeting and creating art in front of thousands of people, and has allowed me to create a colorful life for myself and my family. Now, I help other artists build confidence, develop their techniques, and fall in love with the art of live wedding painting. I invite you to join us for inspiring stories of creative journeys, practical tips for running a successful art business, and honest conversations about the joys and challenges of running a studio and being a parent. This podcast is here to keep you company, keep you entertained, and is full of resources to help you on your journey to create a business that feeds your soul, makes an impact, and is insanely profitable. The Composed Artist is the podcast for the bold, creative, passionate, and genuine artist. Let's get started.
Yeah, something else I wanted to say. Talking of sort of judging ourselves and standards and everything, like I don't really like being judged or rejected or anything like that. But
Yeah.
one of the things in the wedding industry, which is some of the only things that clients see, are wedding industry competitions, wedding industry like listings where someone, especially in the UK, the way it usually works is someone will be nominated, which usually means nominating themselves, and then they have to hassle everyone for votes. So it's just who is the most organized person, who's the most persistent, who can post the most times, reminding everyone to vote for them.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yay, I won like best like speciality touch entertainment of the year
Mm-hmm.
or something.
But what does that even mean?
What does it mean? It means that you got a lot of votes because you
Yeah.
asked for votes.
Yeah.
And I never entered one of these competitions because I don't see it as, it's not the way I want. I don't want to be judged on how many people I can get to vote. If
Mm-hmm.
there was a way to sort of get everyone and compare them really like by the work they do and by how they're serving their clients and the quality they're bringing. But these things, they're so subjective. It's, I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know
who
how
would
you
vote?
can.
What would you want to be voted on? Is it style, expertise, or professionalism, or like the whole package,
Like a
or
combination of everything.
and then
Like
who would
what have you
vote?
provided? Yeah, who would
Yeah.
vote? But I think if you sort of show like this is what I do in a day, take a close look at the level of detail, look at the amount of guests I paint, look at the quality, whatever it is, whatever category, but really like looking at the work people
Mm.
do, a large array of work. But judges aren't going to sit down and look at a large array of work from each artist to really judge like how good they are.
Mm.
And so I will continue not to enter competitions and not to ever sort of have awards to stick on my website or profile because I don't see it as really
Yeah.
like a valid way of judging artists.
Mm.
But the other day there was this listings site and they had the best like innovators of the year, and they
Mm.
put me on it as like one of the innovators of the year.
Congratulations.
And that wasn't something that was based on votes. It wasn't something that was paid for. It's like some people who looked at what a lot of like suppliers were doing and chose me as one of the top 10 innovators. And I was so proud of that because it was a different process. Like it was genuinely just like judged by human beings and they asked me for nothing.
Yeah.
And often you do get asked for money or, it's about the votes. And I was just really proud of that. Obviously, I haven't posted about it, but
Well, obviously.
I will.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree. I think there's something what do you choose to put on your website? What do you choose to add to the online portfolio or even just post on Instagram? It's the work that you feel the most proud about. It's the work
Mm,
that it's the painting that you enjoyed the process and the experience of creating it was so much fun. And it was such a
yeah.
fun challenge and you feel like you learned something, you feel like a better person or better artist, or there was one little thing about the whole gig that made it feel better than the last five. Like that's what
Yeah.
we consider, like that's how I judge my work.
Yeah.
It's not
Completely.
necessarily, yeah, and if I were to go, it is great to be to win some sort of competition, right? That is
Yeah.
great. That's why like the knot, you can when anytime somebody has a best of, that is based on how many reviews they got. And
Yeah.
I am still to this day I struggle with asking for reviews. And so
Yeah.
I
Me
think
too.
I've gotten that best of badge like twice because I just don't go ask for the reviews, and they'll put them on Google or they'll
Yeah.
tell their friends. And the way that feel like I'm succeeding is that I'm getting referrals and I'm booking jobs and I'm,
Yeah.
getting these opportunities to create newer, better work. So I don't
Mm,
necessarily need a badge. It's good. It's a good like press piece. It's good for
yeah.
trust building. Some people, it matters to some people, but to me, to
Yeah.
you, what really
Yeah.
matters, that's really deep.
I think it's interesting because with every other genre of art, there's specific competitions where you're judged on that one thing. So there's like
Hmm.
watercolor competitions. There's competitions for who can paint the nicest like ocean related scene.
Mm,
There's competitions for like oil painters and
yeah.
portraits. But there's no competition where you are judged on what you supply as a live wedding painter, where
Should we
you're
start
actually being
that?
judged. I think we should.
Do you want to do it? And do you want to be the judge?
I don't want to be the judge. God no.
Hell
I
no.
don't know. I mean, how do you need a panel, don't you? You need a
How do you
panel.
judge that?
But it's like
Yeah.
where, without that structured, like genuine thing where people are
Mm.
really like people who know their stuff are looking at the skill.
What's the
Like
criteria?
there's that,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no kind of, where we're just looking at what someone does. And
That would be really interesting. I'm gonna keep
it
thinking
would be
about that because
interesting.
it would be
Yeah.
fun. I mean, we're all competitive. We're competitive against ourselves and our time
Well, it
limit.
can be fun. It can be very motivational, but you
Yeah.
have to be really invested in knowing that the competition is something that's real.
Yeah.
We have this thing in London called Art Battle, which I haven't entered, but maybe at some point when I have more time. They're basically six artists in a room and they just all paint something. And there's an
Hmm.
audience and there's music and it's, there's an MC going around commenting on each piece and
Yeah.
it's being filmed. I thought, wouldn't it be good if they did one that was like portrait battle, sort of like portrait artist of the year, but much more like fast paced and wild and a bit expressive. I'm gonna do that. I'd
With
enter that.
drinks and the DJs
Yeah,
going
yeah,
off.
exactly. Like I'd enter that, and it's something I
Hmm.
want to propose to those people because
And
I
then
would,
people coming up to
you've
you
got
like that
a
looks like crap.
model. Well, you know what? That's all part of it. That's all
Yeah.
part of it. But you have a model sitting there and six people painting them from life. Let's see
Hmm.
who's good now with no, nothing to fall back on, no tools. Let's see who can do
Yeah.
what. Those are the things that I think if I knew that I was going to enter something like that, my God, the work I would put in, the standard I would want to achieve. And it's always weird as an artist because like people who are really into sports, for example, they get to do it as a thing, running a race or being on a team and scoring points. Like we don't do that. And I'm not
Yeah.
generally a very competitive person in any of those fields because art is the only thing I am able to do well. I can't do anything else well. I
Mm.
blunder through life as absolute idiot most of the time when I'm not painting. I really do. But
well, it's your sport because you take great pride in what you do. You see the challenge in it. You've seen growth over your entire
yeah,
lifetime. You know when you create a bad piece and you feel
yeah,
like that's like losing the race in your mind. I let myself down.
yeah,
And so then it's like, I'm going to train to do better next time and be faster and
yeah,
be more skilled and I wasn't as engaged this time. Next time I'm going to drink some iced coffee or I'm going to get
hmm
better sleep and I'm going to, you're training for this.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. That is our sport.
yeah. And also the sort of grueling nature of it. I mean, I paint for 10 hours without stopping.
Yeah.
And
It's
I'm like,
crazy.
oh, I wonder who else could paint for that long. Like, let's see who can paint the longest. Like, let's paint for 24 hours. Like, let's have a 24-hour life drive. Like, I'm just always like, imagine if this. And it's
Dude.
like I've reached the time in my life and career where I've done it so much and I
Yeah.
just want to wield it and wave it around and be like, look at this, look what I can do. And there's
Yeah.
no outlet for that. I mean, every wedding is an outlet, but sometimes I just want to run a race and do it like that with other people, see what happens.
Let's run that
I want to
race.
invent that race.
Thank you for tuning in and joining us on this journey of artistic exploration, entrepreneurial growth, and personal development. Remember, you have the power to create a life that is both fulfilled and balanced. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please subscribe to The Composed Artist on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a review. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us reach more creatives like you. Until next time, keep creating, keep dreaming, and keep pursuing that composed life. You got this.